Good afternoon and welcome to today's Clergy Check-In for Monday, April 26th. This coming Shabbat, we will be reading from Parashat Emor. It is a Torah portion that contains numerous laws, including the infamous law of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, something I'm not going to deal with right now. But at the end of the portion, it talks about fixed times and seasons. It specifically states the festivals of Sukkot, of Pesach, of Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and reminds us that those occur at an appointed time each and every year. In addition, it reminds us that Shabbat happens weekly. We are in the midst of counting specific time during this period of the Omer, through which we are more than halfway finished. And again, all of us have been counting and marking time since the pandemic began. And so the question arises for all of us, how do we find a way to appropriately mark time and to make time sacred, make it holy? There are very few adult celebrations that occur within Jewish tradition. Modern Judaism has incorporated numerous types of celebrations, whether upon one's retirement, whether coming through a difficult time, whether through a healing. But in terms of tradition, after one is married, there really aren't designated time moments until one's death, except for one. And that is, according to the psalmist, the lifespan of a person is 70 years. And therefore, what tradition created was an opportunity for an individual to celebrate becoming an adult twice. We know that bar mitzvah happens at the age of 13, and what the rabbis determined centuries ago was that an individual, when they become 83, 13 years after that designated lifespan, that you become a bar mitzvah a second time. This past weekend, Saturday afternoon, Carol and I had the opportunity to be on Zoom to watch a member of Village Temple celebrate that sacred moment with one twist. It was supposed to have happened last May, exactly on the 70th birthday of his bar mitzvah. But because of the pandemic, Arthur could not fulfill that hope and that dream. It was pushed down the road one more year. And so on Saturday, with some family in the sanctuary, many more of us online, we got to watch and celebrate with Arthur as he read from the Torah, chanted from Torah, chanted his Haftarah portion, and delivered a beautiful Devar Torah on the topic of an eye for an eye. Being an attorney who was an international mediator, I assure you it was a very, very profound Devar Torah. But what that tells us is that even though we are told to designate specific moments in time and mark them specifically, sometimes events cause us to do things out of order. And how many of us this year in recent weeks celebrated birthdays or anniversaries that had been postponed for months because of the pandemic. And what I think we can take from this is the knowledge that at some point in time, when we can't celebrate that specific moment in time, we find ways to create holiness, to be able to create that which is kadosh and meaningful in our lives. And what's most important is to seize that moment and that opportunity. Hopefully there'll be many opportunities for all of us in the weeks and months ahead to mark sacred moments in our lives. Hope you have a good and a safe afternoon.